Thank you, Your Excellency. Our Honorable Chief Guest recently said, Indian nationalism is not one nation, one language, one religion, one enemy. It's perennial universalism of its people. It's perennial universalism of its people. Yes, sir. Our nation is rich because of its diversity. Our children return to sing a carol for you in Bengali, your mother tongue. Please forgive us if our accent goes wrong, as the children are not original speakers of Bengali. Over to you, children. Khub Sundar, Darun. Thank you, girls. I now call upon our President, Cardinal Oswald Gracious, to give us the Christmas message.
Our Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Pranab Mukherjee, former President, Shri Conrad Sharma, Chief Minister, Honorable Minister Alphonse, and my distinguished guests, friends. Dear Secretary General, Bishop Theodore Mascarenhas, everybody, but in a very special way, welcoming our President, the Chief Guest of this meeting. There is a perceptible atmosphere of joy and festivity this evening as we meet for this Christmas celebration. And the joy is because you've come. I think the joy is also because Sri Pranab Mukherjee is here, who is really embodies, I think, in a way, the spirit of Christmas, because he's a man of service for others always. Christmas is the season when we think of the birth of Jesus. Jesus was born 2,000 years ago to reconcile man to God and to bring peace to the world. In that little stable where Jesus was born. Glory to God in the highest, and peace to men of good will. Jesus came to bring peace, reconciliation. And isn't it strange when we reflect that I think never in the history of mankind we've had so many individuals, so many institutions, so many organizations working for peace, formally for peace, and perhaps never in the history of mankind. We also had so much of violence, so much of injustice, so much of exploitation. Look at the scene in Bethlehem that wintry cold night. Joseph, Mary, baby Jesus, the shepherds adoring him, the king is coming to worship him, the angels above. A scene of perfect peace and perfect reconciliation. Genuine peace, genuine reconciliation. No disharmony between God and man, no disharmony among men and women themselves, no disharmony between man and nature. Can't we say that many of the problems that we are facing in the world and in society, in our own country, are because of this disharmony? You had it very recently, I was speaking to the director of Caritas this afternoon, disasters in our own country, natural disasters, Kerala, floods, Orissa, the big storm, the cyclone in Tamil Nadu, coming with increasing frequency. Isn't this because there is a disharmony between man and nature, where man has greedily used the resources of nature without thinking of the future, without thinking of the other? Isn't it time that man begins to be responsible and restore this harmony? Isn't there so much of violence, terrorism? Again, disharmony between man and woman, man and man in our human society. And I believe all this is because there is disharmony between man and God, because spiritual principles have not been brought to bear in our lives. And so Christmas, the season of Christmas, it's not just a remembrance of a past event, it's also an assurance that God is with us. I think it's also a challenge to all of us to be agents of peace and reconciliation, to bring peace where there is disharmony, peace where there is hatred, peace where there is misunderstanding and prejudice, by dispelling all this, bringing forgiveness and understanding between people where there is hurt, bringing reconciliation and responsibility for man as he deals with mankind. And that really is a calling to us this Christmas once again, as we welcome Jesus into our lives, that we strive to become what he wants us to become, agents, or each one of us to become agents of peace and reconciliation. Christmas does not belong to Christians alone. The message of Christmas is to all of us, followers of Jesus, followers of all religions, also followers of no religions. We work for peace and reconciliation. I wish, on behalf of all the bishops of India, the Catholic communities, I pray for peace in our country and peace in the world. I wish for each one of you reconciliation in your homes, reconciliation in the community, reconciliation in our country, and reconciliation in the world. Happy Christmas. God bless you, and thank you for coming. God bless you.
Thank you, Excellency. May I now present you our chief guest. Shri Pranab Mukherjee assumed office as the 13th President of India on July 25, 2012, crowning a political career of over 5 decades of exemplary service to the nation in government as well as parliament. 81 years old, Shri Mukherjee is a man of unparalleled experience in governance with the rare distinction of having served at different times as Foreign, Defense, Commerce and Finance Minister. He was elected to the upper house of the Parliament 5 times from 1969 and twice to the lower house of the Parliament from 2004. He was a member of the Congress Working Committee, the highest policy-making body of the party, for a period of 23 years. During this period, from 2004 to 2012, Shri Mukherjee was instrumental in spearheading critical decisions of the government on a range of issues such as administrative reforms, right to information, right to employment, food security, energy security, information technology, and telecommunication, setting up of Aadhaar card, metro rail, etc. Through chairmanship of over 95 groups of ministers constituted for this purpose. In 70s and 80s, he was instrumental in setting up the Regional Rural Bank and the Exim Bank of India, as well as National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. Shri Mukherjee was also author of a modified formula for resource sharing between the centre and the states in 1991, which came to be known as the Gadgil-Mukherjee formula. A powerful orator and scholar, Shri Mukherjee's intellectual and political prowess, as well as remarkable knowledge of international relations, financial affairs, and parliamentary process are widely admired. He has been acclaimed for his roles as a consensus builder on difficult national issues through his ability to find amongst the diverse political parties that form part of India's vibrant multi-party democracy. A man of humble origin, Shri Mukherjee was born in the small village of Merathi in Birbhum district of West Bengal as son of freedom fighters Shri Pramoda Kinkon Mukherjee and Raj Lakshmi on December 11, 1935. Shri Mukherjee's father was a Congress leader who endured great hardship, including being sent to jail several times for his role in India's struggle for independence. Shri Mukherjee acquired a master's degree in history and political science, as well as a degree in law from the University of Kolkata. He then embarked on his professional life as a college teacher and journalist. Inspired by his father's contribution to the national movement, Shri Mukherjee in 1969 plunged into full-time life following his election to the House of the Parliament. Under the careful mentoring of late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, Shri Mukherjee's rise in his political career was rapid. Shri Mukherjee has extensive diplomatic experience and has served on the board of governors of a prolific leader. Shri Mukherjee has authored several books on the Indian economy and on nation building. The many awards and honors conferred on him include India's second highest civilian award, Padma Vibhushan in 2008, the Parliamentarian Award in 1997, and Best Administrator in India Award in 2011. He is recipient of honorary doctorates from various universities like University of Dhaka, the United States of University, the University of Jordan, Al-Quds University, Palestine, Hebrew, Israel in 2015, and the Kathmandu University, Nepal. He was rated one of the best 5 finance ministers of the world in 1984, according to a survey conducted by Euro Money Journal, published from New York, and was declared Finance Minister of the Year for Asia in 2010 by Emerging Markets, the Journal of Record for the World Bank and the IMF. Shri Mukherjee was married to late Srimati Suvra Mukherjee, an accomplished singer of Rabindra Sangeet and an artist. He has 2 sons and a daughter. Mukherjee enjoys singing, gardening, and music in his spare time. Simple in his taste, Shri Mukherjee is a dedicated patron of the arts and culture. An avid traveler, there are few parts of India, countries in the world he has not visited in his illustrious and long public career. We are honored and privileged to have you with us. Please do share your Christmas message with us.
Good evening. His Eminence Cardinal Oswald Gracias, President Catholic Bishops Conference of India, Justice Kurian Joseph, Judge Supreme Court of India, retired, Shri Conrad Sangma, Chief Minister Meghalaya, His Excellency Joshua Ignatius, Vice President, Catholic Bishops Conference of India, Sri K.J. Alphanus, MOS Independent Church for Tourism and IT, Reverend Mosho Mitajal Escobar, First Counselor Apostle, Nunciature India, distinguished guests, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a privilege for me to be present amidst you for the celebration of Christmas by the Catholic Bishops' Conference of India. On this joyous occasion, I convey my heartfelt wishes and join you in celebrating the eternal and omnipresent values of compassion, forgiveness, and universal love that Lord, Son of God, stood for. It were the virtues of love of God and neighbors, fidelity, renunciation of vengeance, and worldly goods, and forgiveness that inspired Swami Vivekananda to observe, and I quote a few words. I quote, "But I lived in Palestine in the days of his feet, not with my tears, but with my heart's love." Unquote. Eminences, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the emergence of religion in the history of evolution of civilization essentially ensured the addition of civilizational aspects of human existence. It raised the level of human consciousness from mere survival to spiritual. Be it in the part of the world, each and every religion strove to direct human endeavors towards the 3 basic tenets of truth, compassion, and righteousness. It was these tenets that comprised the Ramarajya concept of Hinduism, Dharma of Buddha, Holy Kingdom of Christianity, and many more. The civilizational history of mankind was not a history of struggle between classes, religion, castes, or genders. It was essentially the playing out of the struggle between the universal good and its antithesis, where at the end it was always the former that won. Aberrations of a crusade, a jihad or a violent struggle between sects in India and abroad were always defeated in the favor of longer-ranging brotherhood, peace, and resultant prosperity of the mankind. History of post-Europe. In the post-Second World War is an illustration of how peace can enrich the mankind with new inventions, discoveries, expansion of trade, and prosperity. Compare it between the first half of the last century and first half of the second half of that century. You will notice a remarkable contrast. The same very nations around the Mediterranean which were responsible for World War I and World War II in the 45 years, first 45 years of the last century, where the countries you hold common market, common parliament, common currency, and reach a very powerful peace dividend. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in the above context, we are definitely going through a troubled time. Divisive tendencies, intolerance, prejudiced fear of the other seem to be defining us in place of the composite and yet diverse nation that we emerged as over the 5,000 years of coexistence, acceptance, adaptation, and assimilation. However, it is my confirmed belief that this, like in the past, is a temporary phase. India and Indians will tenaciously fight this disorder in order to once again establish our unique national identity, which has emerged out of our civilizational values and remains aged ever so clearly in our socio-economic transformation document, Magna Carta, the Constitution of India. When I think of India and shut my eyes, a picture which appears before my mind, a vast multitude of people, 1.3 billion, who use more than 122 languages and 1,600 dialects in their daily lives, practices 7 major religions in their daily lives, belong to 3 major ethnic groups, Caucasians, Dravidians, Mongolians, and yet live under one system, one flag, and one identity, Indian, that is Bharatiya. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, in his prison days, between 1942 to 1945, very vividly described concept of India in his book, Discovery of India. And I quote a few lines. I quote, India is a geographical and economic entity, a cultural unity amidst diversity, a bundle of contradictions held together by strong but invisible threads. Overwhelmed again and again, her spirit was never conquered, and she remains unsubdued and unconquered. About her elusive quality of a legend of a long ago, some enchantment seems to have held her mind. She is a myth and an idea, a dream and a vision, and yet real and present and pervasive. Unquote. There can be many conflicting visions of the idea of India, but we can all agree that India is a truly beautiful idea that very naturally encompasses all its conflicting visions. Sooner than later, the enduring image of the church in India, but the crowds of Indians who get educated in their schools and colleges, set up church, millions of patients who got treated in the holy Catholic clergy in India is personified by the priest Pranab in a habit, the very image of whose brings to one's mind discipline, dedication, and commitment. It is heartening the images of missionaries of charity led by Mother Teresa, tending to the last person on the margin of society, that personifies the church in India. Having existed in India for more than 2000 years, when St. Thomas, one of the 12 disciples of Jesus, came and settled here, the Christian church has been more Renaissance, Reformation, and rarely about evangelism. Indianization, adaptation, and respect of local customs and traditions have made Christianity as Indian a religion, as the ones that originated in its ancient geographical boundaries. On this joyous occasion, the most important thought I would like to share with you, the Christmas time, is that no matter what the circumstances be there surrounding us, no matter what the propaganda may be there, and some very sacred and common matters that concern all of us as citizens. As I mentioned earlier, our Constitution has provided us many rights and freedom. Our freedom to practice and propagate our religion, the freedom to set up our educational institutions, to choose any occupation, all are important and they must be safeguarded. This is the bedrock of our democracy,